Greetings, everyone. Pete Pardo here from Sea of Tranquility. Welcome to another edition of Classic Live Album War. Today we've got two pretty heavy hitters, two real favorites of mine. All right, we got one of my favorite bands of all time and one of my favorite guitar players of all time. All right, from 1982, Black Sabbath Live Evil. All right, the last go round, the first go round actually, for Ronnie James Dio and Vinny Appice in Black Sabbath. All right. They'll be back again in a few years later, but this was the kind of end of that first phase of the Dio-fronted version of Black Sabbath. Okay, and from 1984, Gary Moore, Irish guitar virtuoso, Irish guitar legend. We want more. All right, let's start things off first. All right, so we kind of know a lot of the history of this bad boy here. Released in December 1982, recorded the 23rd and 24th of April, and the 12th and 13th of May in 1982 in Seattle, Dallas, and San Antonio, Texas. All right, so of course this is kind of like the, point in time where the Sabbath is hot on the heels of their Mob Rules album and tour. Kind of starting to not get along. Things were great in the beginning with Heaven and Hell, but as time wore on, egos and cocaine kind of like got involved there, and then when they went to go mix this album and put it all together, all sorts of stories about people showing up at the studio in the middle of the night, raising vocals, lowering vocals, raising guitar, all that kind of nonsense, right? So a lot of bad blood starting to happen. People stop communicating before you know it. Ronnie and Vinny are gone, off to form the Dio band, okay, and Sabbath are left without a vocalist yet again. So, but a really good live album. Some people say, well, kind of hard listening to Dio sing the old Ozzy favorites. I think he does a very good job. Some people are not crazy about the production on the album. I think the remaster sounds damn good. I'm a big fan of this album. I was since the day it was released. All right, starting things off with E5150, that kind of creepy instrumental from the Mob Rules, which instead of just blasting into the Mob Rules tune, it blasts into Neon Nights here, the great tune from Heaven and Hell. Then we go to NIB from the first Sabbath album. Again, done very well by Mr. Dio, in my opinion. Children of the Sea and Voodoo. Okay, and side one, side two, you got the original, the great Black Sabbath, War Pigs and Iron Man. So 3 old Ozzy tunes in a row. Again, I think Dio did a tremendous job on that. He even, during War Pigs, he started the whole, whoa. Pretty cool, right? It's funny how Ozzy kind of took that up later on after all the bashing all those years between those guys. Side 3, you got the Mob Rules. And then a lengthy Heaven and Hell, okay, with killer Iommi guitar solos. All right. Side 4, Sign of the Southern Cross. Slow, heavy, doomy. Then you got Paranoid, Children of the Grave, finishing off with the little fluff instrumental, okay, as things go out. I love it. Love the artwork, always have. I'm a big fan of this album. All right. On the other end of the ring, I'm a big fan of this one too. All right, Gary Moore, We Want More, released in 1984, recorded February and June, various concerts worldwide. All right, 1984. This features the lineup of Gary on lead vocals, lead guitar. Okay, Neil Carter on keyboards, rhythm guitar, backing and lead vocals. Craig Gruber on bass, backing vocals. Phil Lynott on bass and lead vocals on one track. Okay, Ian Pace on drums. Okay, on most of the album. The other part of the album is Bobby Cuisinart, okay, on drums. Paul Thompson also plays drums on one track. And Jimmy Nail, backing vocals on one track. Okay, so this, like I said, recorded from a few tours, all right, or a few different shows. Lineup constantly changing, right? Starting off with Murder in the Skies, okay, from the Great Victims of the Future album. All right, Shapes of Things, their killer rendition of that old Yardbirds classic. All right, Victims of the Future, title track to that album. Okay, side 2, you got Cold Hearted, another great tune. End of the World from Corridors of Power with a blistering Gary Moore guitar solo. Okay, that's recorded at the Apollo in Glasgow, Scotland. In fact, there's basically this is taken from Harpo's in Detroit, Tokyo Budokan, Japan, and the Apollo in Glasgow. Okay, you've also got Back on the Streets. Okay, So Far Away, Empty Rooms, Don't Take Me for a Loser, Rockin' and Rollin' from the Hammersmith Odeon. Okay, and then Parisian Walkways, okay, which is taken from Ulster Hall in Belfast, Ireland, with Mr. Lynott. guesting from Thin Lizzy, obviously. Two great friends, go back a long, long way. A really, really great live album. I think contains some of Gary's best recorded guitar work in a live setting. I think the band, you know, in whatever incarnation it was, depending on the shows, just killer. It's tight. The songs are great. A lot of these classic Gary Moore tunes, I prefer these live versions to even some of the studio ones. All right, and like I said, I think some of his best recorded guitar work ever. So here we come to the part where I've got to decide. This is kind of tough for me because, like I said, it's one. Tala's making a vote back there. This is one of my favorite bands of all time, and this is one of my favorite guitar players of all time, and I love both of these live albums. All right, but when it comes down to it, I got to go with Sabbath here. As much as I love both of these, I think this just is a great kind of live package that contains, you know, the best of the early Ronnie years as well as some of the best of the Ozzy years, sung all by Ronnie, sung very, very well. I dig the production. All these versions are great. I mean, I love this too. I love it. But if I had to just pick one, if I had to go to a desert island with one of these, I'm going to take this one. This is what it is. It's not by much, all right? Maybe a split decision here, all right? 116, 114, 115, 113. 116, 114, 113, 115, 114, 112. All right. Split decision win for Black Sabbath. Okay. In my choice, they will move on to round 3, but it doesn't matter what I'm choosing here. It all matters what you guys are choosing. Upper right-hand corner, you'll see that little white circle with the letter I on it. Click there to vote for Gary Moore, to vote for Black Sabbath. The winner after 6 days is going to move on to round 3. Okay, we'll see which one lives to fight another day. The important thing is there's no right or wrong answer here. It's just a way to have fun and see if we can figure out what your favorite live album is of all time. If you haven't listened to either one of these, now's a great chance to do so, because that's the real fun about doing this whole thing, is like we go and listen to these great live albums again, right, and enjoy them for what they are. Treasure them, okay? It's great to be talking about live albums. There's so many amazing ones, as we've found throughout this whole tournament. So visit us on the web at www.seatranquility.org. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, of course, we're on YouTube all the damn time. Stay tuned for tomorrow. We got 3 more coming up tomorrow, and that will be it for round 2. Okay, tomorrow is the end of round 2. Then we'll take a few days to kind of check out and see what the votes are like and move the bracket over. What I'll do probably this weekend or early next week is I'll do a quick little show just announcing who all are in round 3. Okay, I'm not going to tell you who the matchups are, but I'm just going to tell you which are the ones that moved on to round 3. And then we'll get started with that. All right, so we'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, take care. Have a good one. Bye-bye.